There is a certain allure to Geminis, and it's not hard to see why. They are charming, intelligent, and have a lot of energy. Geminis are born into the world between May 21st and June 20th. They are known for their dual natures, represented by the twins in the astrological chart. When it comes to seducing them, there are a few things you can do to make them feel special. Start by being attentive to them and make sure to pay them compliments. Be sure to show that you're interested in them and their thoughts and feelings. Finally, make sure to keep the romance alive by taking them on dates and making love to them. You might wind up drawn to a Gemini and can't help thinking about how you can seduce them. In the first place, get to know your Gemini to check whether they share qualities practically speaking with their sun sign. Then make a point to grandstand your most appealing characteristics. You can also try using your compatibility with a Gemini based on your astrological sign. Remember that signs can be fun, yet they are not a logical manual for getting to know somebody. And also, an individual is a person with traits that may or may not match those of their sign. Here are 15 steps on how to seduce Geminis. Firstly, let's talk about getting the Gemini's attention. Number 1. Notice on the off chance that the individual has the characteristics of a Gemini. Before you make presumptions about your love interest in light of his sign, do a little exploring to check whether he has the normal features of a Gemini. Converse with him about his interest and what he loves, or check whether you can gather information from social media or mutual friends. Try not to simply expect him to fit the shape of a commonplace Gemini. Moreover, don't attempt to change yourself or be somebody who you are not on the grounds that you believe it's what a Gemini needs. A great many people answer trustworthiness and genuineness regardless of what their sign is. Geminis are seen as friendly, active, clever, inquisitive, flirtatious, loving, and cautious, and like amazements, yet they could likewise be withdrawn, timid, and crazy. It relies upon what they are thinking at that moment. See in the event that you can see whether your love interest has these characteristics as well. Does his Instagram show that he's out mingling consistently? Do you see him being loving with friends? Does he tweet interesting, smart perceptions? Number 2. Engage the Gemini in stimulating discussion. Geminis love to be mentally tested, particularly in a discussion. Attempt to draw in a Gemini in an energetic conversation as a type of foreplay. Numerous Geminis will adapt to the situation and use discussion as a method for playing and drawing in with you. You can be seriously captivating in a discussion by utilizing positive body language, meaning you keep in touch, turn your body towards the other individual, and keep your arms loosened up by your sides. You ought to likewise grin and gesture when the Gemini is addressing, show her you are locked in. You can likewise spice up your discussion by posing insightful inquiry and by being a decent audience. You may likewise choose to recount an interesting story to keep the discussion entertaining and light. Geminis partake in a touch of humor, particularly in a discussion. Number 3. Flirt with the Gemini using positive body language. Geminis answer well to being a tease, as they appreciate feeling genuinely and sincerely associated with their partner. You might use discussion and manner of speaking to flirt with a Gemini. You can likewise utilize body language to show your romance interest in the Gemini. You might be a tease by tenderly contacting the Gemini's shoulder or arm during discussion. The Gemini might answer emphatically to a rousing contact, particularly assuming that he is keen on you and agrees to your contacts. You can likewise flirt with a Gemini over text, as Geminis will quite often cherish discussion in any structure. Be ready to be up the entire evening, however, as once you get a Gemini talking, it very well may be hard to end the conversation. Number 4. Introduce yourself in a charming manner. Geminis focus on detail, and will see assuming you show up genuinely engaging. You ought to attempt to seem set up and certain by dressing great and being very much prepared. You might invest energy into your outfit assuming you realize you will be seeing the Gemini that day and style your hair or put on cosmetics. You can likewise seem sure and charming via conducting yourself with a particular goal in mind. Stand upright, with your shoulders moved back, and step around the room like you own the spot. Showing an elevated degree of certainty and character can make you more interesting to the Gemini and bound to hold her consideration among a group in a room. Number 5. Be social and active. Turn on your social side and undertake your more outgoing self. Geminis are active and get a kick out of the chance to mingle, and he might be searching for somebody who can keep up. Invite your Gemini to gatherings and social affairs, or take a stab at regularly visiting spots you realize the Gemini goes to. Geminis will generally prefer to go out frequently, so you should show him you can stay aware of their social schedule. Do group hangouts where you and the Gemini invest time associating with a bigger gathering of friends. Ask that the Gemini hang out one-on-one in an energetic setting, similar to the most recent hip bar or a famous cafe. Geminis flourish off of social connection and commitment, even in a date setting. Number 6. Make little sentimental gestures. Geminis are known for their love for romance, however are normally more receptive to little sentimental gestures. Surprising a Gemini with a little gift or a sweet gesture will show her you give it a second thought and build up your fondness for her. You can shock the Gemini with a bunch of roses or a little box of her number 1 chocolates. You can likewise get the Gemini a supper out or bring over require out on a chilly, breezy evening. Number 7. Take the Gemini on an adventurous date. Geminis are about suddenness and experience. Taking a Gemini on a daring date will satisfy him and put him in the mindset for the sentiment. You might astonish him with an adventurous date for an additional degree of suddenness, similar to pair bungee bouncing or whitewater rafting. This could be an unexpected ride on a sightseeing balloon or a carriage ride through the recreation area. You may likewise take the Gemini out on the town to his number 1 spot in the city or to a comfortable eatery you found in another area. You may also keep the date interesting and challenging by doing something together you know the Gemini will enjoy, such as going on a hike together if you know the Gemini is into the outdoors, or taking a boat ride together if you know the Gemini enjoys being by the water. Number 8. Allow the Gemini to pursue you. Whenever you have drawn in the Gemini, you ought to flaunt your lively side and let her pursue you a bit. Geminis partake in a test, particularly a heartfelt test, and will normally answer well to pursuing somebody they find attractive. Ensure you offer the Gemini your full consideration and endeavor to get her intrigued. When you appear to have her advantage, you ought to pull back a bit. This will leave the Gemini fascinated and she will probably search you out for consideration. Remember, however, that messing around like this can switch certain individuals off or can be confounding or frightful. Try not to pull back excessively far or treat her with chilling disdain in the event that you do this. Attempt simply being somewhat less accessible than you were previously. Secondly, let's discuss showing qualities that Geminis find attractive. Number 1. Be loyal and honest. Geminis value correspondence and genuineness in a partner. He will see the value in that you will tell the truth and be forthright about how you are feeling and what you are thinking. Geminis likewise need to feel valued and entrusted with their partner. Being straightforward will make you a more appealing partner to a Gemini. You can exhibit this by not concealing your sentiments or considerations when you address a Gemini. You can likewise show trustworthiness by being consistent with yourself. Don't attempt to be somebody you are not simply to draw in a Gemini. You can show a Gemini that you are faithful by standing up for a companion in a precarious circumstance or by supporting a relative during a troublesome time. Showing the Gemini you are committed can show him that you will remain by your friends, family, and partners. Number 2. Be willing to attempt new things. Geminis are a courageous, carefree sign. Your Gemini might be energetic and keen on learning new things. To prevail with regard to luring a Gemini, you might have to exhibit your brave side and show her that you can attempt new things with enthusiasm. This might mean requesting an unusual dish on the menu at supper or being willing to attempt another beverage at the bar. You may likewise recommend something off in an unexpected direction for your date with a Gemini, such as climbing to a cascade for an excursion or going on a phantom visit and getting a tarot perusing to show her you are keen on previously unheard of encounters. Number 3. Be adventurous in bed. At the point when you become personal with your Gemini, attempt new things in the room together. You might attempt different sexual positions in bed and use strategies to make sex last longer. You may likewise utilize sex toys and pretend in bed to keep the sex fascinating and audacious for the Gemini. Ensure you and your partner are in total agreement and all that you are doing is consensual. In the event that you don't know whether your partner is daring, yet he's a Gemini, that doesn't mean you ought to simply take a stab at something insane in bed without inquiring as to whether it's okay. Be conscious and convey about attempting new things. You might attempt essential sex toys in the event that you have never utilized them. For example, a sex toy for clitoral excitement or vibrating pleasure beads. You can likewise attempt a vibrator or a couple's ring in bed. It might likewise be enjoyable to attempt pretending games in the room in which you showcase your dreams together in a place of refuge. You might let each know other your dreams and work together to act them out. You ought to lay out cutoff points and limits for the pretend and afterward get into character with ensembles and props. The last method on seducing a Gemini is deciding your astrological compatibility. Number 1. See whether you are viable with your Gemini. Get some margin to search internally and dissect your own interest, your character, your qualities, and your way of life. More significant than astrological sign is whether you and this individual have comparative quality and ways of life. In the event that you can impart and manage everything well, and different determinants of similarity, it's fine to consider astrology. However, make sure to do it while taking other factors into consideration. Number 2. Know the signs thought to be compatible with Gemini. Explore your own astrological sign and read about the qualities of that sign. You might find you fit the depiction of your astrological sign, or you may not. Very much like your Gemini could possibly have the qualities of his sign. Geminis are most compatible with the following signs. Libra, September 23rd, October 22nd. Geminis and Libras are compatible as a result of their capacity to convey and mingle well. They likewise share a love for art, culture, and experience. Scorpio, October 23rd, November 21st. Scorpios will quite often appreciate security. This can conflict with a Gemini should be social and active with others. Geminis likewise have a carefree way to deal with life, which can be counter to Scorpio's extreme and confidential nature. However, for a highly intelligent Gemini, Scorpio may be the perfect partner, as the Scorpio can engage in enriching, deep discussions, talk openly about sex without judgment, engage in playful sex as the expert sex sign and a most loyal sign of the Zodiac, and is an expert at flirting with the mysterious play and openness Gemini craves. Scorpio and Gemini share the arts, sexual adventure, strong needs for loyalty and intelligence. The twin nature of Gemini, the social, public side and the private, intimate side, is just the mystery Scorpio adores and respects. Aquarius, January 20th, February 18th. Aquarius is a decent coordinate with Gemini in light of the fact that the two signs blossom with assortment and change. The two signs are additionally great at mingling and correspondence. Numerous Aquarians and Gemini signs wind up turning out to be dear companions and significant others. Aries, March 21st, April 19th. This is a decent match on the grounds that the two signs are loaded with drive and energy. Aries have a flair for an initiative that will supplement Gemini's creativity. The two signs likewise have energy for information and learning. Leo, July 23rd, August 22nd. Leos will generally be active, emotional, and striking. They are a decent supplement to the innovativeness and knowledge of a Gemini. The two signs will generally benefit from one another's energy and appreciate making others and themselves laugh. Number 3. Note the signs that are bad matches for Geminis. You ought to likewise know about the astrological signs that are not thought of as compatible with Geminis. This doesn't mean you can't or shouldn't lure a Gemini in the event that you are a non-compatible sign. Remember, this is all for no particular reason. The non-compatible signs are thought of as inconsistent with Geminis. Pisces, February 19th, March 20th. This water sign will in general be extremely touchy and doesn't do well when they are matched with the flighty characteristics of a Gemini. Frequently, Pisces get injured effectively by Geminis and can be excessively delicate and agonizing for the perkiness of Geminis. Virgo, August 23rd, September 22nd. Virgos don't do well with change or unusualness, making them a poor match for Geminis. Virgos likewise tend to have high, explicit norms and assumptions and may wind up condemning the more open, fun-loving methods of a Gemini. Number 4. Take a look at the signs that are special case matches for Geminis. There are two signs that can be possibly great counterparts for Geminis with just enough work and concentration. These special case matches can possibly work out in the event that the two players figure out how to convey and communicate with one another in sound ways. These two signs are Gemini, May 21st, June 20th. Pairing a Gemini with another Gemini can prompt a relationship brimming with great discussion, experience, and tomfoolery. However, the two individuals should zero in on incorporating soundness and responsibility into the relationship for it to work. Sagittarius, November 22nd, December 21st. Sagittarians will generally be understanding and patient, so they can be a decent counterpart for Geminis. The two signs likewise have an affection for information, assortment, and sexual action. However, neither one of the signs is exceptionally grounded, so the two individuals should chip away at remaining grounded and focused on one another. Another way to seduce a Gemini is to appeal to their emotions. Let them know that you care about them and that you want to be with them. Be willing to show them your softer side and let them know that you are there for them. Additionally, be willing to do things for them that you wouldn't do for other people. This will show them that you are serious about being with them and that you are willing to do anything to make them happy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Why not leave a comment below and let me know what you think? If you want to learn more about the zodiac signs, click any of the videos on your screen right now. Thanks for watching.